Hello there, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Shibu John from Toronto, Canada, on the 5th of September 2025. This morning, we are going to meditate from the book of Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 5. Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 5. Then the heads of fathers' households of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites rose up, every one whose spirit God had stirred to go up to rebuild the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. Our focal point for today's meditation is the real revival in our life. This particular verse best bits God's direct involvement in stirring the hearts of his people for rebuilding or for the rebuilding effort, indicating divine inspiration and preparing the way for spiritual and national restoration. The context is the verse, in this verse, it specifies the groups involved in the return, focusing on the key tribes of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites who were crucial for the proper worship and function of the temple. And the divine motivation behind this is everyone whose spirit God had stirred, which emphasizes that the return was not simply a human initiative but a divinely inspired act. God's intervention made the people willing to embark on the laborious or difficult journey back to their homeland. And the purpose is rebuilding the house of the Lord in Jerusalem. And this signifies more than just constructing a building. It represents the renewal of covenant faithfulness, the restoration of proper worship, and the symbol of God's presence among the people. And it is also fulfills the prophecy. Ezra chapter 1, including this verse, fulfills Jeremiah's prophecy of God bringing his people back after 70 years of Babylonian exile. And what is the significance of Jerusalem? Jerusalem as the destination underscores its central role in Jewish identity and worship. The context and the meaning is that's the verse. It teaches that God is actively involved in history, not just a distant creator, but as one who moves in the hearts of individuals to accomplish his purposes. There are so many challenges in this whole process. I would say practical challenges. The journey and rebuilding were filled with potential difficulties, including the unknown way to Jerusalem, the desire to remain in their comfortable, settled lives in Babylon, and the devastated, or I would say, overwhelmed state of their homeland. And here, God's stirring of their spirits was necessary to overcome these obstacles, these problems, these hurdles. The act of rebuilding the temple represented a significant step in the spiritual and national renewal of the Jewish people after the trauma of exile. And you know what? This devotional of today's devotional is based on the story of the return of God's people from Babylonian and Persian captivity. Led by the decree of King Cyrus of Persia, the exiles journey back to their homeland to rebuild the temple and restore their lives. However, as Zerubbabel leads the effort to rebuild the temple, he faces opposition and disunity among the Israelites, revealing that not only the city but also their hearts needed restoration. My question here is, have you ever felt the pull of home after a long absence? The exiles from Judah experienced this profoundly as they returned from Babylon to rebuild their lives and temple. The decree from King Cyrus, influenced by the stories of Daniel's God, allowed them to return. But the real work began once they set foot in their homeland. Zerubbabel led the effort to clear the ruins and lay the foundation for a new temple. He encountered resistance and discord among his people. Instead of unity, there was division. And this shows that physical restoration is only part of the journey. The exiles needed to mend their hearts and relationships as well. And the question here is, how can we rebuild our own temples today or these days? Consider the areas in your life, in our lives, that need restoration. Perhaps there are relationships that require healing or personal wounds that need God's touch. The story of the exiles teaches us that rebuilding is not just about structures but about the heart and soul of a community or a family or a society. Again, I'm asking you a very genuine question. Are there parts of your heart that feel like rubble? The journey of the exiles reminds us that God is with us in the process of restoration. It may take time and effort, but with His guidance, we can rebuild what was broken and create something even more beautiful. So let us reflect on our own lives these days. What we need to be cleared away so that something new can be built. As we ponder this, or I would say, as we consider this, remember that God's promise to the exiles is also His promise to us, to you and me. He is faithful to complete the work He has begun in us. So let us reflect on the areas of our life that feels broken or in need of restoration. So take time to pray for God's guidance in these areas, asking for the strength to rebuild and the wisdom to seek unity and peace. And you know what? The revival starts when we clear away the old to make room for the new. May I repeat that one more time? The revival starts when we clear away the old to make room for the new. Have a very blessed day and God be with you.